Modern life is built around convenience. Food arrives in minutes. Transportation appears instantly. Subscriptions automate everything. Shopping takes seconds. And at first, all of this feels efficient, comfortable, even productive. Convenience saves time, reduces effort, and removes friction from everyday life. But over time, something else quietly disappears alongside that friction: awareness. And when awareness disappears, spending changes. This is Capital Clarity, a channel where we explain how money works clearly, simply, honestly. Most people think convenience only costs a little more. A delivery fee here, a subscription there, a small extra charge to save time or effort. Individually, these decisions feel harmless, reasonable even. But convenience rarely exists as a single decision. It becomes a lifestyle pattern. And once that pattern forms, spending starts happening automatically instead of intentionally. The problem is not convenience itself. The problem is that convenience slowly disconnects people from awareness of spending. And that changes financial behavior in ways most people never fully notice. Friction sounds negative, but financially, friction is often protective. Walking into a store requires effort. Cooking requires time. Comparing prices requires patience. Paying with physical cash creates awareness. These small moments of effort force people to pause and think before spending. Modern convenience systems are designed to remove those pauses completely. One tap replaces consideration. One click replaces evaluation. And psychologically, this matters more than most people realize. Because when spending becomes effortless, it also becomes easier to repeat. Convenience does not only affect how people spend. It affects how often they spend and how carefully they think before doing it. A person might hesitate before driving to a restaurant, waiting in line, and paying manually. But ordering delivery from a phone feels emotionally lighter. The spending feels smaller because the process feels smoother. The same thing happens with subscriptions, digital purchases, ride-sharing apps, and online shopping. The easier the process becomes, the less attention people give to the financial side of the decision. And over time, repeated low-awareness spending becomes normal. One reason convenience spending grows so easily is because modern transactions feel less emotionally real. Physical cash creates a visible sense of loss. You physically hand something over and immediately see less money remaining. Digital spending feels different. Numbers disappear silently. Payments happen automatically. Subscriptions renew in the background. And because the emotional experience feels softer, spending resistance decreases. This creates distance between action and consequence. And that distance encourages repetition. Convenience often hides inside small recurring costs. Delivery fees, service charges, priority shipping, premium upgrades, subscription renewals. Each individual expense feels manageable. Most people barely think about them in isolation because the emotional focus stays on comfort and speed. But over time, these small convenience costs accumulate into significant financial leakage. Not because people made one terrible decision, but because they made hundreds of frictionless ones. One of the biggest shifts in modern consumer culture is that convenience is no longer occasional. It has become expected. People pay to avoid waiting, pay to avoid walking, pay to avoid cooking, pay to avoid minor inconvenience. And gradually, basic effort starts feeling undesirable. Tasks that were once normal parts of life begin feeling like burdens that should always be outsourced. This matters financially because every outsourced inconvenience creates another recurring expense layer inside daily life. And once those layers become normal, reducing them feels emotionally difficult. Convenience spending also contributes heavily to lifestyle inflation. At first, conveniences feel optional. But after repeated use, they become integrated into routine expectations. Food delivery becomes standard. Ride-sharing becomes default transportation. Automatic subscriptions become permanent. And over time, people stop evaluating whether these services improve life enough to justify their cost. The spending simply becomes part of normal monthly survival. This creates a dangerous illusion: higher expenses without visible lifestyle improvement. People spend more while feeling almost the same. Convenience is often justified through time-saving arguments. And sometimes that argument is completely valid. Time has value. Energy has value. The problem appears when convenience becomes the automatic solution for every discomfort, no matter how small. Because not every inconvenience needs to be removed financially. Sometimes cooking saves money. Sometimes walking improves health. Sometimes waiting prevents impulsive purchases. Not every friction point is a problem. Some of them create discipline naturally. Convenience systems also weaken financial awareness by training people to expect immediate satisfaction. Need something? Get it instantly. Hungry? Order immediately. Bored? Buy something quickly. This constant reduction and delay changes spending psychology over time. Patience becomes less practiced. Delayed gratification becomes harder. And financial discipline weakens because modern systems continuously reward immediacy. The result is not just higher spending. It is reduced tolerance for discomfort itself. Improving financial habits does not require rejecting convenience completely. The goal is not to eliminate modern tools. The goal is to restore awareness inside the decisions. That means slowing certain purchases down intentionally, reviewing subscriptions regularly, cooking more often, creating small pauses before ordering or upgrading, asking whether the convenience truly improves life or simply removes temporary discomfort. These questions sound simple, but they rebuild conscious spending behavior. And conscious behavior changes financial outcomes over time. Convenience rarely destroys finances dramatically. Its effect is gradual, quiet, accumulated. People slowly become accustomed to spending more for less effort while paying less attention to the total cost of maintaining comfort. And eventually, financial pressure increases even though no single purchase seemed irresponsible on its own. That is what makes convenience spending dangerous. Not its intensity, its invisibility. Convenience is powerful because it removes friction. But friction was often the thing protecting awareness in the first place. And when spending becomes too smooth, too fast, and too automatic, people stop fully noticing how much their comfort is actually costing them. The easier spending becomes, the easier it is to lose control of it quietly.